Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling. My name is Julian, and I'm going to be your facilitator for this evening. We have 6 awesome institutions ready to share some great information, and I'm going to go over some housekeeping tips before they do. There is the Q&A. You can use the Q&A chat box to ask any questions you have throughout the night. I want to encourage you to address any presenters that you want to answer those questions, and they will do so throughout the night. You can ask them at any time to any presenter, not just the one that is speaking at that time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so you can make sure that you sit back, relax, and enjoy the information. This is the last session for the evening, so if you want to watch any other sessions, you can do so by going to shrivescan.com/Illinois within about a week, where you can view all of those recorded sessions. So we are going to start turning the floor over to our first presenter for the evening, and that's going to be from Grand Valley State University. We're going to allow them to get their screen share up and running, and while they do, just want to continue to encourage you to use that Q&A chat box throughout the night to ask any questions. Just make sure you're addressing the institution you want to ask that question. So Grand Valley State, you're on the clock.
Thank you. My name is Wallace Holder. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Grand Valley State University. I am also your representative for the state of Illinois. If you'd like to reach me after tonight, you're always welcome to send me a message. My email address is holderw@gvsu.edu, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about Grand Valley. So over the years, Grand Valley has received a number of accolades, including being named one of the best universities in the Midwest by the Princeton Review, one of America's top colleges by Forbes magazine, one of America's best college buys for 25 consecutive years by Institutional Research and Evaluation. That happens to be my favorite, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. We were also ranked number 6 in the nation for study abroad participation. As well, our undergraduate programs in both engineering and business have received national recognition for excellence. 94% of our recent graduates are employed or pursuing advanced degrees, and 35% of our students graduate debt-free. So a little bit about Grand Valley State University. We are a 4-year public university with a main campus in Allendale, Michigan. That puts us just under 3 hours away from Chicago if you're traveling by car. We have 140 undergraduate and graduate degrees across a wide variety of disciplines, from time-honored traditions such as history and philosophy to new and evolving areas such as cybersecurity and biomedical engineering. Our total student population is a little over 23,000. The majority of our students being undergraduates, that number's right at 20,000. But when you combine all of our majors, minors, areas of emphasis, we have over 300 areas of study for you to choose from. So Allendale, Michigan is one location in which you'll learn, but really the world is your classroom at Grand Valley State University. 25% of our students participate in research. They're actually engaged in research with faculty. So you'll see the web link for our Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarships in front of you. Over 4,000 study abroad programs exist for our students across many disciplines, and over 8,000 students participated in experiential learning at Grand Valley. So that took the form of internships in many different academic fields, as well as co-op experiences in engineering, student teaching, social work practicums. So just know that there are many opportunities for students to get involved and experience hands-on learning. Now, I mentioned earlier that for 25 consecutive years, Grand Valley has been one of the 100 best college buys in the nation, and here's why. A non-Michigan resident can attend Grand Valley for just under $28,000 per year. So that includes your required expenses for tuition and room and board. This is based on if you're living on campus as a first-year student in what we call a traditional living center with one other roommate and a 14 meal per week meal plan. Our Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships is always available to assist you and educate you in how you can reduce this cost and make Grand Valley not only affordable, but a tremendous value when it comes to your college education. Now, when it comes to application review, Grand Valley engages in what we call a holistic application review process. So we'll take all parts of you into consideration, primarily your overall academic profile. That will take precedence. So we will look at things such as what types of college preparatory courses have you taken? And of course, how have you performed in those courses? What grades have you earned? We'll look at your cumulative high school grade point average as well as your grade point trend. And when it comes to the average student who's been admitted to Grand Valley, that middle 50% of incoming freshmen, that largest group of freshmen, their average GPA fell between a 3.4 and a 3.9 GPA on a 4-point scale. So this is simply an average. We do have students above and below this range who are admitted to Grand Valley, but this is where the largest group of students tend to come in at. Also, for the fall of 2021 as well as fall of 2022, we are test optional. So this simply means that you will have the option to decide whether to submit standardized scores as part of your application. Really and truly, the application process requires 3 things. The undergraduate application for admission, which you can find on our website at gvsu.edu/apply, $30 application fee or a fee waiver form, and your official high school transcript. Typically, students will receive a decision from the admissions office within just a few weeks. So for the fall of 2022, that application process will begin shortly after Labor Day 2021. And that was just kind of a really quick overview of everything involved in what you can experience and expect at Grand Valley State University, but there's just so much more to explore. If you'd like to visit our campus virtually and get a taste of what Grand Valley offers, we have several virtual visit opportunities available to you when you go to gvsu.edu/visit, as well as in-person opportunities to follow. So please feel free to check out our website. We'd be happy to be a part of your college application process as you learn more about the colleges and universities available to you. And again, my information, Wallace Holder. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Grand Valley. My email address, holderw@gvsu.edu. And if you should have any questions during tonight, I'll be happy to answer those during the chat. So in the meantime, go Lakers, and thank you for your time.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presenter is going to be from Ohio Wesleyan University. We're going to allow them to get their screen share up and running. And while they do, just want to continue to encourage you to use that Q&A chat box to your advantage throughout the night and ask any questions to any presenters at any time. And as far as the sessions, this is the last session, so you can review any recordings at strivescan.com/Illinois. Ohio Wesleyan University, you have the floor.
Great, thank you very much, Julian, and thanks to everybody for joining us this evening. I'm Rob Walton, Associate Director of Admission at Ohio Wesleyan University, or as you see on the screen, OWU. It's a lot easier to say that than Ohio Wesleyan or OWU, and to my knowledge, we're the only OWU out there, so we just say OWU. You're looking at the east end of campus. Campus is shaped kind of like a map, looks like a bow tie or like a dumbbell or barbell. You're looking at the academic side. If you were to turn that drone 180, you'd be looking across at the Jaywalk, the center thoroughfare of campus, and across at the residential side of campus. As you can see, our signature program is called the OWU Connection. Think big, go global, get real. This is a one-stop shop for all the things that are going to more than just supplement your education. They're going to be part of your education. So think big, guided personalized research projects and interdisciplinary study. Going global, we tell students pack their passport, prepare to travel, particularly as things are continuing to open up more and more. We've been really proud of our students that we've been able to do in-person learning throughout this entire academic year. And we did still have some students able to travel. That's happening even more as we get into next year. And in a typical year, over 2/3 of our students travel through either semester abroad, travel learning classes, university funded connection experiences, anywhere in the world. And going global, certainly you'll get that. The last piece there, get real, right? Robust practical experiences. That's a picture of Tom Dolan, who just graduated from OWU a couple years ago. We'll talk more about where we are. We're by the state capitol in Ohio. And so we have our Wesleyan and Washington program. This is Tom actually at the country's capital in DC, where he now works full-time just a couple years right after college. So the idea is that it's going to give you a pathway to go forward in a career, grad school, wherever it is that you plan to land. There's a reason 96% of our students do that right away. And that path doesn't have to be a straight shot. It doesn't have to be linear. You can see Eva Blockstein. She was actually in one of those previous pictures about going global. She was there traveling with the island biology class, where the entire class went as a group to the Galapagos. That's on my bucket list, so I'm always jealous when I go through that slide. But as you can see, Eva kind of dabbled here and ventured out there, and she was in Costa Rica. I mentioned the Galapagos, Panama, and now she actually works in Fairbanks, Alaska. So she came to OWU from the East Coast, and now she has basically been able to say that at 22 years old, she has traveled the globe. I mentioned we're just outside Columbus. I know that we're talking to Illinois today, and many of you may be familiar with Chicago. If I'm using that as a reference point for distance, it's about a 5 to 6 hour drive, depending on where within the state of Illinois you live. And Columbus, once you leave Chicago, Columbus is the next largest metro area in the Midwest. Delaware is a north suburb of Columbus, so we're about 20 to 25 minutes north of downtown. So if you like the idea of being near a big city, but you also like the idea of being on a traditional college campus with green space and room to grow. And then the picture on the left there is a picture of Sandusky Street. That's kind of your downtown Delaware, which it bifurcates our campus, but it's also nice to have all of, creature comforts that we're familiar with, right? Whether it's getting your hair cut, getting something to eat, going grocery shopping, the things that you need. It's nice to know you can go see a movie for $6 and walk home to the residence halls at the end of the night. We have over 75 majors to choose from. So if you don't know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life, that's okay. But the most popular majors at OWU, just in terms of the students enrolled, politics and government, as I mentioned, we're nearby the state capital right there in central Ohio, so that makes a lot of sense. Health and human kinetics, if you're thinking about going on to do athletic training, physical therapy, OT, AT, PT, that would be one use of HHK. Zoology, we're right down the street from the Columbus Zoo. We also have a lot of students who use that to go into a lot of different fields. So if you're looking to do STEM in a liberal arts setting, OWU could be the right fit for you. Business, lots of Fortune 100 and 500 companies nearby, and psychology, a very versatile degree. We're a residential campus. Students live on campus all 4 years. We want to make sure it's a place you actually want to live. We've put millions of dollars into renovating all of our residence halls, including building brand new ones. So you can see Smith Hall is now open as our home for first-year students. That's the picture above. New game room, fitness room, all of the things you want. 24/7 dining. You're never going to go hungry. The picture on the bottom is our new Bradford Milligan Hall. That's our senior apartment building that's opening this fall and looks spectacular. I know that at some point you're going to be thinking about cost. One of the great things about OWU is that we're affordable. Average out-of-pocket cost is roughly $16,000 for a $60,000 education. How do we do that? Well, 99% of our students receive aid, and if you have at least a 3.6 GPA or higher, you earn our $30,000 Branch Rickey Opportunity Promise. Branch Rickey, an OWU alum who actually signed Jackie Robinson to his first professional contract. Jackie Robinson Day is tomorrow. There are other stackable awards that certainly you can qualify for beyond that. I'd like you to stay connected with OWU. You can scan that QR code if you'd like. You can get a custom view book, so we won't send you things you don't want to know about. I'm the only Rob in the Office of Admission, so I'm easy to find. owu.edu/admission. Thanks for joining me tonight. Go Bishops.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And our next presenter is going to be from the American Academy of Art. We're going to let them get their screen share up and running. And while they do, just wanted to continue to encourage you to use that Q&A chat box throughout the evening. After the American Academy of Art, we have 3 more presenters left, so you have 3 more chances to ask any questions. So we'll leave the floor over to the American Academy of Art.
Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and put myself back on video and reshare my screen. I hope everyone is having a good evening. I know we're starting to get to the end of all of our virtual fairs this year, and I'm really happy to be a part of this. I think it's all been very successful in lieu of the new environment that we've been living in this year. It does give us an opportunity to recruit and promote our school to students that we normally wouldn't throughout the whole nation. So there's definitely a silver lining in this whole scenario. So I'm Lisa Deluca, and I am the Senior Admissions High School representative for American Academy of Art College. So what that basically means is I oversee our high school program and going out to high schools and giving presentations, attending college fairs, and executing guidance visits. So this presentation I'm very passionate about because I think it does a super amazing job of really helping people understand something about the Academy, but also understand something about art. So before I even give you any information about the Academy, I do want to share with you the fact that art is actually everywhere. And the reason why I'm real adamant about starting here instead of, with your general intro of the Academy is because if parents and students don't really understand exactly what art is and how much it is a part of our lives, it becomes difficult then to actually promote and sell a program in art because people simply do not understand all the jobs that are out there. So what I would like for everyone to start doing is take a look around you. Everything from packaging, movie posters, billboards, magazine covers, apps, websites, toys and games, your necessities like the clothing you wear, the house or apartment that you live in, the food and drink that you consume, that's all packaged, right, with logos. There's more art out there than you can ever imagine. So I think it's important to start here and really just keep an open mind about what art actually is. Now, the Academy actually lives in what we call the South Loop of Chicago. This is our building. So you will notice this is very different from your traditional college campus environment. We occupy 2 floors in this mid-rise. And when you do attend a school in an urban campus environment, a lot of those cool little touristy attractions actually become a really solid part of your campus experience. So you've got the Art Institute, you've got the Museum of Contemporary Art, you've got the Museum of Contemporary Photography. We also have the whole museum campus. So in Chicago, we have a little campus area where there's 3 museums that sit like on the same lot, so to speak. And that would be the planetarium, the Shedd Aquarium, and then the Field Museum. So even though those are not technically art museums, they are great resources for our students. For example, a lot of drawing students will go to the Field Museum and draw from the artifacts, drawing from Sue, really getting the opportunity to draw very intricate details of these pieces. Also, the parks become outdoor drawing and painting studios, and the whole city of Chicago becomes a great backdrop for any type of photography that you may be interested in. So when you are looking at colleges, it is very important that you look at location. The Academy works with something called University Center. So this is our dorm. This is actually shared by us and other schools in the South Loop area. So you've got Columbia over there, you've got Roosevelt. There's a lot of different colleges that are a part of this center. And I can vouch for this space simply because I have been a chaperone for our overnight summer studio program, and I've stayed here myself. So I will tell you, way nicer than any dorm I ever stayed in when I was in college. It is a safe facility, and let's be honest, that is a question now that comes up, especially when students are thinking about being in schools in the big cities. I will tell you, you are not getting past this gate unless you are supposed to be there. And also just really nice amenities like a workout room, conference center, billiard room, outdoor deck. The food is pretty good. I've eaten there numerous times as well. It's actually really good. So that is an option for you, but I will tell you most of our students do commute. As of right now, our school really is mostly commuter students, but there of course are students that do stay in the dorms, of course. So that is an option. Also, the Academy is a small school. We are considered a small private college. Pre-pandemic, we had about 15 to 18 students in class. Due to CDC regulations, we now only have up to 10 students in class, and we are currently practicing a hybrid schedule with some remote classes. And it is my understanding that the intent is to return to live classroom instruction in the fall of 21. Also, one thing I want to mention about our school is that we survey our students and we do ask them what it is that they liked about the Academy in their first year. And a lot of students many times bring up the teachers, which is always a good thing. but they also like the size of the school, the intimacy of the environment, and the fact that an art community is formed where they actually are going to school with like-minded people. So of course, when you attend an art school, everybody who's attending with you is a fellow artist. And for some students, that's definitely a perk. Also, the Academy will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2 years. We were founded back in 1923 by Frank Young. Frank Young owned his own ad agency, and it's no coincidence that our little history line here shows you a couple of advertisements. So I'm sure you guys have seen the Coca-Cola Santa before. That was illustrated by one of our alum, Hayden Sunblue. And Joyce Ballantyne was the original painter of the little Coppertone baby. Many people don't know that that was actually her daughter. And then we have a very famous graphic novel artist, Alex Ross, who attended the Academy. And we currently have alum and past students working in the gaming industries like Bungie, working on games like, well, Halo when it existed, and now Destiny. And I do want you to know that one of the co-creators of Mortal Kombat attended the Academy. His name is John Tobias. He is a CPS alum as well as an alum of the Academy. And he co-created this game with Ed Boon back in the 90s. And they both were employed at a company called Midway Games, which is now called NetherRealm Studios. And that is located here in Chicago too. So a lot of people don't know that Mortal Kombat was born here in the Midwest. At the Academy, we offer a BFA. We have a Bachelor of Fine Arts program. This is a 4-year degree. You can pursue commercial art programs in traditional and digital illustration, graphic design, which includes app and web design, 3D modeling and animation, art direction, which is basically creative project management, and our photo program is both darkroom and digital process. My fine art major is painting, and you can pursue oil or watercolor. If you are wondering what our #1 program is, as many schools usually have like a really popular program for the Academy, that is illustration. Also at the Academy, students take something called Humanities and Sciences classes. So these are your general education classes. And the reason why I feel this is important to mention is simply because even though we are accredited regionally and we are authorized through HLC to provide our program, we are very different from your traditional college campus environment. Our students spend more time in art than they do anything else. So 1 day a week is their Gen Ed week, or excuse me, their Gen Ed day, if you will. The rest of the time is spent in classes directly related to their majors. And when you take your general education classes, even when you take, let's say, a science class, it is attributed to illustration. So when you take anatomy, it's not pre-med anatomy like for a doctor. It is teaching you how to illustrate muscles and bones and different aspects of the body. Our writing classes really focus a lot on writing artist statements. Our history classes are revolving a lot around art history. Okay, so I will tell you that this is definitely a great institution for anyone that really, really loves art and really feels like art is their thing. I don't think the college is for everybody, but I will tell you for the right student, it is the absolute perfect fit. We also at the Academy would love to promote our social media program. We can be found on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to promote Insta today. You guys can follow us at AM Academy of Art. I will put that in the chat along with my email. And what you see is a recent post from our alum, Lauren Long. He illustrated Change Sings, which is a children's book by Amanda Gorman. So she was the poet laureate at inauguration, as well as the Super Bowl. So we're super proud of Lauren. He's quite the bomb diggity. He also illustrated for Barack Obama and Madonna. So I will put all this information in the chat for you. I thank you guys for being a part of this evening's presentation, and please feel free to email me or just chat any questions that you will have. So I will stop my share and I will unmute myself.
Awesome, thank you so much. No problem. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to University of St. Francis. We're going to allow them to get their screen share up and running. And while they do, go ahead and use that Q&A chat box throughout the night. We have University of St. Francis and 2 presenters after. We'll leave the floor to you.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Yorali Gonzalez. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. I'm also an alum from St. Francis. I graduated 2019, so I'm pretty new and I'm super excited to be here. So I'll just go ahead and get started. So a little bit about who we are. So we are a small liberal arts institution. And what that means is that we want you to be well-rounded. So we want you to be able to connect with not only your coworkers, but also the people that you're serving. So I always use this example, but for example, for our nursing majors, they're going to be taking philosophy, history, and all those courses that maybe they didn't expect to be taking, but it's going to really challenge them. And the reason for that is because then later on, if they're going to be able to have some sort of like their patients, they're not just going to be talking about, how what their blood pressure is, or, how to stick a needle, but they'll be talking about, if the patient likes philosophy, it'll be about Plato, or another example would be like, they would be able to talk about evolution and Darwin and stuff like that. So it's really, really important. And we don't want you to be, some sort of like robot or anything like that. That's what I always say, they really want you to be well-rounded, have those genuine conversations, just be able to connect with the people around you. But we are, again, small institution. So we have only about less than 2,000 students on campus. This includes probably just the traditional undergrad students, but if you're including like graduate and the online special part-time students, probably about 4,000. Either way, it's really, really small. So our student to faculty ratio is 14:1. What that means is, with COVID, we weren't able to, we didn't really see any change. We're still having in-person classes, still business as usual. But at the same time, you're able to connect with your instructors in a way that maybe other institutions wouldn't. For me, for example, being a bio major, I took some classes going into occupational therapy, biomechanics. I only had 4 students in my classes. So we really got that, hands-on, one-on-one. I was able to figure out how to do the 3D, limits and stuff like that. So with that, it just really helped. And now going into graduate level or master's programs, I'm able to ask for those letters of rec. As for the undergraduate majors, we have 52, but the most common ones would be nursing, education, business, and then anything in the pre-healthcare professionals like pre-vet, med, physical therapy, all those, and then probably then allied health, which includes radiation therapy, radiography, and those. So like I said, we are located in Joliet, Illinois. So this is actually just 1 hour train ride into the city. So basically, we have a satellite campus on our downtown Joliet, and we would be able to, have transportation into the USF shuttle. So for example, our students that live downtown or at least like closer or some area in Chicago, they're able to then just commute and we would be able to pick them up. But also for those international students, for example, that kind of stay during the summers and things like that, and they want to ride, we would be able to give them rides to the USF from the USF shuttle. And it would be right then and there. It's just about an hour. I really loved experiencing too, like with different clubs. I was an international club, and we would be able to go even not only during the summer, but just at all times. We would be able to go to the downtown area, all in a group. We would probably go ice skating by the Bean, going to those Thanksgiving, Christmas parades, all of that. And it was really fun and really easy and accessible. So a little bit about our athletics. So we are NAIA. We have 10 men's sports and 11 women's sports, and then we have 1 co-ed. So they're listed right here. You can kind of see them. But I just really wanted to emphasize that you can qualify with us for both academic and athletic scholarships. So that's really cool because, they would be stackable. And right now it's really cool too because our men's bowling and our women's indoor track and field just won nationals. So hopefully that continues. As for a little bit on financial assistance, so as for freshman scholarships, we can award up to full tuition. And then for transfer scholarships, it's $13,000 annually. But these are just academic. They could still go up if you get some sort of federal aid or outside scholarships or just some sort of grant through us. But keep in mind that 100% of our incoming freshmen do receive some sort of financial assistance from us. But we're really big on trying to look at each individual student, see their strengths and weaknesses, and then try to see if we can apply for other outside scholarships too. So it's not just on us or not just on them, it would also be on us to try to help them pay for college and make this happen. And then I did also want to briefly mention that we have here 16 countries that are represented by international students. And we do have study abroad opportunities as well. As for outcomes, so I will go through this a little bit faster, but 97% of our nursing majors passed at NCLEX on the first try. As for allied health, which again is radiation therapy, radiography, and all of those, an average of about 96. Mostly it's about 100 in those, but average of 96% pass on the first try. 100% for the PA, and then 100% for the EdTPA for education majors. And then, but overall 98% placement rate. So that means that students get a job or go to graduate school after 6 months of graduating. And then really quickly, you can find us on the Common App, but you can also apply by going to stfrancis.edu/apply. And that way you would be able to that would be a free application as well. We are test optional for this year. So if you wanted to go ahead and just apply as transcripts, but we'll try to see which one would be the best academically and for you to be able to have scholarships as well. And then lastly, I just kind of wanted to say that this is my contact information, but I'll put it in the chat as well. So this is my team, this is my family, and we're here to help. Thank you.
All righty, thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next presenter, which is going to be from Butler University. We're going to allow them to get their screen share up and running. So I just wanted to remind all of our attendees as well that you can view the recording of any sessions that you want at strivescan.com/Illinois, and those recordings will be available within about a week. We'll leave the floor over to you, Butler University.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Shutt, and I'm the Assistant Director of Admission, also the Chicago-based regional representative for Butler. I work specifically with students who attend high schools in the city of Chicago, as well as the north and northwest suburbs. But I mention this because there are actually 5 counselors in total who cover Illinois. So I encourage you to find your own admissions counselor by visiting our website. So a little bit about Butler. We are a private, non-religiously affiliated, mid-sized university located in the city of Indianapolis in Indiana. We're just about 5 miles north of the downtown area, so you can kind of see the skyline there in the background. But here you can see our campus. We are definitely a very residential campus tucked away in the neighborhood just north of the downtown area, so definitely giving you that true campus feel. We have just under 4,700 undergraduate students and about 500 grad students or so. So definitely giving you that focus on that undergraduate experience. And we have about 55% of our students coming from out of state. Our size in many ways gives you that small school feel with a lot of big school opportunities. In the classroom, you're going to have that average class size right at 22, that student to faculty ratio at 11:1, which gives you that learning experience that's just very student focused, very engaging. Your professors will know you and you'll get to know your classmates as well through lots of discussion and group projects. We have 6 academic colleges that focus on communication, education, liberal arts and sciences, pharmacy and the health sciences, visual and performing arts, and business. For any students who are unsure what they want to study, I always encourage that they look into our exploratory studies program. That's a great way to start at Butler. But students will start taking classes in their major during their first year, as well as taking courses in our core curriculum. Many colleges have a core curriculum or general education requirements, but what's unique to our core curriculum is our Indianapolis community requirement, where students are participating in a course where service in the community is really integrated into that curriculum. While it's not a requirement for all of our majors, we do find that 75% of our students complete at least one internship before they graduate. And then many of our students, of course, take advantage of the location in the city for their internships. But we have others that'll choose to do an internship through one of our internship semester programs in Washington, D.C. or New York City. And then even though our students love campus and they love Indianapolis, we do find that about 40% of our students spend at least one semester studying abroad. And that can be through one of our 200+ programs in 60 different countries. So many amazing places to go off and explore. Here you can see the 8 dimensions of Butler's BU Be Well framework. And this really serves as our foundation to that transformative and holistic Butler experience. And so we're really providing that positive environment that helps students develop both inside and outside the classroom through each of those 8 dimensions of BU Be Well. Butler is a residential campus with a 3-year housing requirement. So over the past 5 years, we've actually built 2 new residence halls, one for first-year students and one for sophomores, that really has that focus on suite style living. We recently partnered with Bon Appetit as our dining vendor, and they specialize in sustainability, work with local farmers, and really provide some healthy food options for our students. We do have 130 clubs and student organizations, an active Greek life with about 35% of our students participating. We are in the NCAA Division I, so we do have 20 different athletic teams as part of the Big East Conference. Students get access to tickets for free for all of the different sporting events, so that's a big plus, and that includes men's basketball, which is a pretty big deal on campus. And then we also have a number of club sports and intramural sports as well, which are hugely popular. We have an active diversity center, which is the hub to all of our student affinity groups. And so that'll include like our Black Student Union, our Latinx Student Union, gender equity movement as well, to name a few. It's also the home to our Multicultural Mentors program. I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk briefly about the admissions process, since I know there may be a number of juniors listening in today. So hopefully these next few slides will give you a quick overview of everything related to the admissions process. To start with here, you can see our academic profile, which gives you that idea of what a typical student is looking like academically speaking. So these numbers represent our middle 50% ranges. For the GPA, we will use your weighted GPA or the highest GPA on your transcript, which most commonly will be, of course, that weighted GPA. So factoring in any honors, AP classes, IB classes that you may be taking. Here's just a quick list of all the necessary items to complete your application. So you can decide to submit the Common App or the Butler app, whichever one works best for you. Both are reviewed the exact same way. I find most students will use the Common App. It is free to apply, so there is no application fee. The other thing I want to point out here is that we are test optional, and we're remaining test optional every year moving forward. So you can choose to apply with or without your test scores. And then here are some important dates to keep in mind for Butler's application process. The application opens up August 1st as you head into your senior year. And then there are 2 different timelines that you can follow with early action. That's our non-binding kind of timeline with that November 1st deadline. And then we do have regular decision with that February 1st date. Both early action and regular decision applicants are automatically reviewed for merit scholarships, but our early action students do have the opportunity to apply for a few other Butler scholarships as well. And then of course we encourage all families file the FAFSA for additional aid assistance. And then lastly, I just want to wrap up by saying that we are open for campus visits. I encourage you to check out our website, butler.edu/visit, to learn a little bit more. I'll share my contact information in the chat, so feel free to follow up with any questions you have. But thank you so much. Good luck with your college searches, and go Dogs.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And our last presenter for the evening is going to be from St. Louis University. So we're going to let them get their screen share up and running. And with that being said, if there are any questions, please go ahead and throw them into that Q&A chat box before the session is over, so we can make sure that we get all of your questions answered. We'll leave the floor over to St. Louis University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Hsu. I am one of the Chicago regional representatives for St. Louis University. So I am based up in the Chicago area, work with other students in that area. I also have Richard Brown with me today answering chat. He works with other Illinois students in different areas as well. So very excited to be here talking to you a little bit more about SLU. So St. Louis U is a medium-sized, so mid-sized Catholic Jesuit institution. We have just around 8,000 undergraduate students and a little over 12,000 overall, including our graduate schools, medical schools, law schools, et cetera. We are ranked as a top 50 Catholic school. We have 2 campuses. Our primary campus is located in St. Louis, Missouri, so just about 4.5 to 5 hours south of the Chicago area. We also have a secondary campus in Madrid, in Spain, where you can actually either study abroad, go for a 2-year program, or even a 4-year degree over in Madrid. We are the second oldest Jesuit university. We were founded in 1818, and we are the first university west of the Mississippi. We are classified as an urban campus, so we are located right in the heart of the city, but we do have a traditional campus feel. So the campus is kind of enclosed by a rectangle of buildings. Everything is in there, so you still feel like you have your own space, even though you have all the benefits of being in that city environment. So what does it mean to be a Jesuit institution? The Jesuits are the largest order of Catholic priests, and throughout history, their mission has been really focused on education. So what it really means to be a Jesuit institution has to do with this Jesuit philosophy of education. It is a holistic approach to education. It's a liberal arts curriculum. We really believe in educating a whole person, so not just academically, but socially, physically, and spiritually. We really believe in academic excellence, social justice, and we are really trying to create people for and with others. While we are a Catholic institution, SLU is a home to all faiths. A Jesuit institution is not really about making you a better Catholic or instilling a certain type of religion into you. Again, it's really about making you a more well-rounded person, helping you kind of understand your place in the world, how you navigate the responsibility and obligations you have to other people. One of my favorite ways that we live out our Jesuit mission is really just through service. Even amongst the Jesuits, SLU tends to stand out. Recently, our faculty, staff, and students contributed almost 2 million hours within a single year of community service, and that is really something that we highly encourage our students to participate in. It's not required ever, but most students will, just so that they can kind of contribute to that mission of making a difference in the world. In terms of academics, SLU offers nearly 90 different undergraduate programs that you can study. All of our majors can be direct admission. So if you know what area you want to enter in, you can enter directly. That includes some direct admit grad programs such as physical therapy or occupational therapy. Our most popular majors are in kind of the STEM areas. So physical therapy, it's a direct admission DPP program. Biology and pre-med is very popular for us. Engineering, we've got a great aerospace program, a flight science program, a nursing program, a great psychology program, communication program. And we're also very strong in the area of business. Again, kind of being in that urban environment in St. Louis, it's a really great city for young graduates to start out. So business is really strong at SLU, and there's lots of really wonderful opportunities to kind of jumpstart your career while you're still on campus with us. Our majors pretty much all have a great hands-on learning component. So there's really wonderful hands-on learning experiences, whether that's internships, clinicals, or research. There's going to be something for everyone. We are considered a top research university, so you can start research as early as freshman year. We actually have 1 professor for every 9 students on campus, so they're very accessible. It's very easy to get into labs and start getting that experience. We are one of only 9 Catholic universities that has received a Carnegie classification of higher or highest for research activity, and we're very, very proud of the research that we are doing on campus and the way that we allow students to kind of get involved in that, even really from their first year. Hands-on experiences have been a bit more challenging this year, but we have still been able to provide an in-person experience for our students, both this past fall and for the spring. So we did offer students the option to stay at home and do their courses online, but about 97% of our students did return to campus. They are still there. That is our plan for the fall. So kind of moving forward, allowing students to still have that on-campus experience while of course maintaining a lot of really, great safety regulations and all of that. So what is there to actually do on campus? We have a very active campus. So again, as a mid-sized school, got about 8,000 undergraduate students. So there are a lot of students and they are very, very involved. We do have about 18 Division I athletic sports. We also have 30 club sports and 50 intramural programs. So if you're interested in athletics, there's lots of different ways to be involved in that. All of the athletic events are free for students to attend. Chaffetz Arena, which is our basketball stadium, is right on campus, and basketball games are probably the most popularly attended on campus. It's a really fun student section where students go and cheer. If you're not into athletics, there's still a lot to do. There's about 150 different organizations you can choose from. There's going to be cultural organizations, governmental organizations, media, sports, service, Greek life, and a lot more options. We do have 7 fraternities and 7 sororities, in addition to 10 multicultural fraternities, which include the Divine Nine. Approximately 20% of our students are participating in Greek life. So it's not the only way to be social, but it's still going to be a great experience for students who want to opt into that. And then I mentioned earlier our campus in Madrid. Study abroad is very popular. It flew over 80% of our students will choose to study abroad at some point in their 4 years with us. You can study abroad in Spain or at 45 other locations around the world. This is some information on how to apply. We encourage an application by December 1st. Have a lot of great things. We are test optional. And if you'd like to visit campus, you can head to slu.edu/visit. Can contact me at anna.shu@slu.edu or give me a call at 773-666-5890.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We were right at that time as well. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us this evening, our presenters, our attendees. Thank you so much for just making these things work. This is a great way for all of you to get in front of our attendees and our students. So it's just awesome to see all this information and in the time that we do it as well too. So kudos to you. There's going to be a quick 4-question survey that's going to appear once I close this window. So please make sure to fill that out. As I said before, there are no more sessions for tonight, but you can always review the recordings for all of the sessions that we have at shrivescan.com. But for this fair specifically, shrivescan.com/Illinois. Good luck on the college admissions process and the college search. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.